Hey, welcome to lesson number 5. Now it's time to create the copies of this tree and this ornament so that we can later create the loop on After Effects. So, first thing to do is to take all the objects, but not the Octane Daylight nor the camera. Take everything else, the big ornament here, and the rings of ornaments and the tree, and make a big group. This will be first tree, so that we know that this is the first tree in the composition. Now let's take this and let's make this a little bigger, 3, 3, and 3, and we move back a little bit. All right. Now we have to check out a couple of things. First, this ornament. Right now, it's like this, but of course there's no use for this right now. We need to make this ornament transparent. So let's take a new material. Let's create a duplicate of this, and let's make this ornament this material, and open up the material editor and just go to the opacity here, and you can lower the float until you have something like this. Alright, this looks good. And now of course we need to change a couple things here. We need to make this rectangle, this cube, change the size, just like this. And let's turn off the camera for now. Something about here, it's good. Let's see how it looks. Alright, perfect. So now we have a very cute Christmas ball with a little pink tone. So now we have to fix this, the snow, a little bit, but first, inside of this ornament we have the sphere, which is this one that has the transparent material. Now we're going to duplicate this sphere and paste it here on the same group, and we're going to lower the size of this sphere just a little bit until we have something like this. Now take the same material editor and lower the float until we have something like this effect. So now we have like two layers of the sphere. Maybe it should be a little bigger, like 95. This is perfect. Alright, now let's take our tree, the subdivision surface of the cube, and let's make it a little wider. Until it's like this. You can see that it fits perfectly with the sphere. So now we're getting there. And now this part can be a little tricky, can be a little messy. Maybe your computer will start slowing down because we're going to copy this entire object, the entire sphere with the tree inside, and we're going to duplicate it and replace one of these little ornaments with this big ornament. So it may take a little toll on your computer, but we have to do it. So first, let's turn off this ornament for now, if you want. And now, inside of this tree, let's turn off the camera. We're going to replace our first tree, our main tree, the big one. We're going to replace with one of these. So let's take on ring 2, let's take this ornament and let's delete it. And now go back and copy this layer called first tree. Copy it with Ctrl C and Ctrl B, and let's call this second tree. And now in this one you can turn on the ornament. Now let's lower the size of it. Of course it has to be much smaller. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because you have to set crazy numbers like, I don't know, let's try 0.02. Let's see how this looks. Obviously it's too small, so we need to find something maybe 0.5. Too much. I think 0.10, 0.1. This may be enough. All right. Make sure it fits right on the tree, like this. All right. Let's take a look in here. All right. Maybe we can lower a little bit more the float. All right. And we have one tree inside the other tree. So we're only missing one tree to complete the loop. So we have first tree, second tree. Now let's go to the second tree. Inside of the second tree, let's copy this second tree and let's call this third tree. It sounds weird. And for this one, let's turn off the ornament. And in this one, let's lower the size. You can input some number like 0.02. Still too big. I told you that it was going to be a little bit tricky. And I think a little bit more, 0.003. Yeah, this is perfect. or maybe change this to 0.004. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit bigger. All right. All right. Now turn on the ornament in here. Perfect. Now let's take a look at how this looks. So we have this tree right here. And if we go back, we move to the other tree, and finally the other tree. Perfect. Now with this setup, it's time to create the loop with the camera. Well, not the loop, just the rendering for the camera. Now let's try and lowering the float a little bit more. Maybe the color should be brighter. Just like this. All right, this is perfect. Now we're ready for the next lesson where we are going to play around with the cameras. So let's go to that one.